The text returned, only this time it says,
"You're too slow. Want to try again?"
and then that god-awful laugh came with it. I was so shocked by what just happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails were supposed to be best friends, right? Why would Sonic do that to him? I shook off the shock off. You should say I shook off the shock feeling, not I shook the shock off. As I brought back to the character select. The save file that had Tails was different. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen itself, which was flickering with that red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding. His orange fur has gone black, and he had an expression of anguish on his face. Trying to ignore it, I picked Knuckles instead. Knuckles and Knuckles 3 and Knuckles! I'm sorry, I love those memes so much. The laugh came again and the screen cut to black again. And stayed there for about 10 seconds. This time, the level said, "You can't run." I was really freaked out by now, and I couldn't really tell if it was a glitch, or a hack, or some kind of sick twisted trick. You just said it was a hack game! I mean... I'm slowly dying inside. I've actually almost finished my Lipton tea. Lipton iced tea, that is incredible. Or anything really. But despite my fear of what happened next, I kept playing. The level looked much different. It had the ground of the scrap brain zone, but the sky background looked like the main menu, and had the darkish reddish cloud sky. But the music is what creeped me out the most. It sounded like Gygias' theme right after the beat Pokey in Earthbound. Actually, you got something right for once! Congratulations! You achieved nothing. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just like Tails did. He didn't. I've actually played the game, like I said. He doesn't have that scared feeling. Though not as much. Yeah, there you go. More rather than he looked a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall, just like Tails, and looked as if he wasn't sure about what was going on. But I made a move anyway. He ran down the straight pathway into the dark, this dark level. And as he did, the screen started to flicker red static a couple of times. And then that maddening laugh came again. And after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains on the metallic ground. I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking something horrible is going to happen to Knuckles. Every time I say Knuckles, speed it up. I actually want that. If Sonic could make me that video, that would be beautiful. He looked nauseated, walking down this blood-stained road, but I still kept it going. Suddenly, as Knuckles ran... oh no, every time I say Knuckles, it, what's his name? My voice gets higher and then it's just gonna be a chipmunk at the end. Knuckles appeared right in front of him, with those black and red eyes, and the oh shit, yeah. I heard the police don't find my pool. I'm joking. Anyway. Sonic appeared right in front of him with those black and red eyes, and then red static appeared again. When the static vanished, showing nothing but black screen, with a text.
"Found you."
I was now scared. Sonic found Knuckles already? What was going on? Anyway, red static came again and I was back to the level. Knuckles looked like he was panicking, and Sonic was nowhere to be found. And this time, that high-pitched squealing from the Silent One's final boss was playing. Give me a second, I'm gonna take a listen to this again. Okay, I actually took a listen to it. It is actually the same thing. Good on you. You actually did something right again. Which was that, what? Was this some kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. Suddenly Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles, in what appeared to be a pixelated black smoke. I actually thought that was an F for a second because there's so much, like, my screen is disgusting as hell. With black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. That terrible laugh went off again. And Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again, and then I made him punch again, and Sonic vanished again, laughing. Knuckles was panicking even more, and even I felt like I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. I feel so weird actually saying Knuckles, I don't know why. Another cutscene played as Knuckled, you have a knuckle sandwich? Alright. Fell to his knees and clutched his head, sobbing. Felt his agony. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. How is he driving you crazy? Really? Like, I can understand, Knuckles because, yeah, he's just playing a sick mind game, but you have nothing to do with it. You're just playing this sick game. Why are you even playing it in the first place? And then, in a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles and his screen, and the screen went black with another distorted screeching noise that lasted for about 3 seconds. Again, why did he change it from 5 seconds to 3 seconds while they're both the same? Another text appeared.
So many souls to play with. So little time. Would you agree?
What the hell? Just what is going on? I started to think Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game, but I was too scared to think that. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time, the second file box had Knuckles on the TV screen. His red fur darkened to a reddish grey. His dreadlocks were dripping with blood, and his eyes were black and bleeding too. He had a look of sadness on his face. I began to think that those are actual characters trapped in those TV screens on the save files. But I couldn't believe it. I just didn't want to believe it. So I shut off the game and took a break. We should destroy the computer while you're at it. I took a nap, which I hadn't because I began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in pitch black darkness. I was under the light given off by a lamp that hung high above my head. I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us," and "Why did you give us to him?" and "Run away before he gets you too." Their cries died as I heard Sonic's laugh. His laugh sounded like that distorted Klefka laugh. "You're a lot of fun to play with, kid. Just like your friend Kyle. Now he didn't last long." I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice. "Won't be long now until you join him and all my other friends." I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out in several directions. "You can't run, kid. You're in my world now. Just like the others." You know what? I actually gotta try and make that really creepy as fuck. When he grabbed me, I saw his bleeding black and red-eyed, grinning face. I woke up in a fright. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. I'll tell you why it was happening, because you decided, you know what, I'm gonna play this game. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotnik next. I still thought it was wacky playing as Robotnik, but anyways, the level title appeared again. And this time it said ... which I find really freaky. Okay, we're going red now? Alright, cool. This time I was in some kind of hallway. It didn't really look like it was from any of the classic Sonic games, and it had that pixelated style. The floor was shiny and checkered. The walls were a dark greyish purple, and the animated candlelights, and a few dark blood stains here and there. There was a dark red curtain hanging above on the top of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, the red curtains sway very slowly. While you'd be playing the game, you could barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant, a piano playing a rather sad and yet peaceful song. But I knew better. This is the song that played in Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse. Are you actually sure about that? I actually might check that later. Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did, but he still had a suspicious look on his face, as if he was a bit paranoid. He did a little animation when I just left him standing. He turned his head to the left and then to the right at least twice and then shrugged at me, as if he had no idea where he was or what was going on. And though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen, I had Robotnik continue onwards. He did his usual running animation, you know, when you beat him at the end of a classic Sonic game and you chase him. As we continued going through the hallway, and I stopped at a long flight of stairs leading downwards. Now I was nervous. Even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself, though I pressed forward. As I led Robotnik down the stairs, I noticed the walls had gotten dark and more reddish. The red torches were now an eerie blue. Then we landed into another hallway. The one was longer than the last one, or at least I felt like it. And then we headed down another flight of stairs down. This one was much longer. It took at least 1 full minute. And then we heard that horrid Klefka laugh again. The music slowly faded until it was quiet. As it did, the walls turned more dark red and the torches were a black flame now. When Robotnik landed on the third hallway, I noticed how he now looked really creeped out, though he tried to hide it. And I couldn't blame him, I was scared too. Suddenly, Sonic popped right in front of Robotnik the same way he did at Knuckles, and then red static. The red static lasted for about 15 seconds, and then it showed me a most unpleasant image. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually still scared of that image. Like, fucking hell, that picture's just really creepy, I'm not gonna lie. The image showed a hyper-realistic image of Sonic standing in the darkness where you can only see his face, while his head and torso faded into black. And when I say hyper-realistic, I mean his fur looked so real that you can actually see the lines on his blue fur, as if you could feel the fur if you touched the screen. His face, oh god, he had the most horrifying smile I've ever seen. And that's saying something considering I saw the image at the start of the game. You know, if you actually look at, here, take a look at this. Here's the title screen, and here's the image. What do you think is more creepy? Oh, I know, both. Well, I'm joking. None of them. Well, the second one actually looks really fucking creepy, I'm not gonna lie. His eyes are wide and black, and once again, crying blood, which also looked hyper-realistic. And there were two small glowing red dots in his black eyes, staring right at me, as if staring into my mind. His grin was wide and demonic. It literally stretched to the side of his face like a Cheshire cat, except Sonic had fangs. Very sharp fangs. Much like the werewolf's teeth, except more vicious looking. Somewhat yellowish. And from the looks of it, he had stains of blood and small bits of flesh on his lips and fangs, as if he ate some animal. I stared at that gruesome image for a good 30 seconds. Never taking my eye off it, I felt as if he was actually looking at me, smiling at me. That face. It just took 10 seconds for it to etch itself into my brain for good. And the screen flickered in red static again 3 times. And the third time I heard the Klefka laugh, except this time it sounded distorted, demonic even. I went back to the image, except this time it was the red text again, although it looked messed up. It was pretty certain, pretty much one of the most horrifying things I have ever seen since I had this game. Funny enough, did you know an update of the game showed one image of Sonic, and then it flashed for 3 seconds, and then it shows the I am God one. Funny enough, and it says I am God. It was when I read that message while looking at Sonic, when it hit me. I realized right there and there, this Sonic was a monster. He's a pure, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster, and all of his victims, including Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and possibly Kyle, were just these little toys and games in this very gateway into his chaotic, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in. Suddenly, in an actual split second, I screamed as Sonic lunged at the screen, screeching loudly, with his mouth wide open and an unnatural length revealing nothing but a literally spiraling abyss of pure darkness before the red static came again. This time much louder and distorted. So loud that it hurt my ears. I yelled and grabbed my ears and the red static screeched for a good 7 seconds. Why the hell would you just, like hold your ears? If you have headphones on, you're just gonna hurt yourself even more. Like, why are you torturing yourself? Then it stopped and it showed nothing but black screen. As I sat there, staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2, Tom? The Klefka laughed, now sounding more clear as if Sonic was right behind me. Playing again 3 times as I looked at that black text in shock and confusion. Then I got booted back to the main menu, and this time the third save file had a TV image of Robotnik in the same tormented state as Tails and Knuckles. Robotnik's skin turned to a dull grey, his mustache drooped and had blackened, his glasses broke and blood is coming from them, and he had a mere dead-like expression on his face. I looked at Tails and Knuckles and Robotnik, and I cried a bit. I pitied them for the agony they were going through, and forever trapped within the game, forever, tormented by that horrible hedgehog, and always will be. The computer shut itself off, and I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what just happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. He tortures people who play his game in more ways than one. And then when he gets bored, he drags them into his games. Literally drags you into hell, where he can play with you, always, as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck there. But at least I managed to turn it back on now. I sat there for 25 seconds. Then I heard a voice right behind me, like a whisper. Try to keep things interesting for me, Tom. I turned around to see where the voices come from, and what I saw made me scream. Sitting on my bed, staring at me, was a Sonic plushie, smiling with bloodstains under its eyes. What a way for a climax, like a plushie. A fucking plushie. Oh my god. Why did I read that? Alright, a few things I do want to mention. Yes, the picture of the I am God photo is scary as shit. I'm not gonna lie, I was fucking scared. The main character, Tom, is a fucking idiot. For example, Kyle, his best friend, he hasn't seen him in 2 weeks, he's just like, please, don't play this game. But he's like, you know what, fuck you, I'm not going to. I'm going to play this game. I'm not going to listen to you, I'm just going to play this game. He's an idiot for doing that. He's an idiot for not realizing that this was a hack game, like, in it. Like, the author is just, I don't know what is wrong with the author. And actually, funny enough, I found an article about how much hate the guy who wrote it got, and was just, oh my fucking god, it was cringy as shit. And anyway, this is not like my normal videos that I always do. This is a little bit of a different one. But if you guys want me to do like more ones of kind of ones I hate, or like the really like popular ones and I critique them, yeah, just leave me a suggestion if you want. But anyway, that's all for now, and I'll see you guys later. See you guys.